Ah, Professor Brett Sutton.
Oh, he's so dreamy!
The silver fox that became the face of the pandemic in Victoria. He's the chief health officer that spawned 1,000 throw pillows. While he's collected a legion of fans, it's probably safe to say he's not so well loved by the Facebook science
air quotes
and freedom
air quotes
crowds. Oh yeah, but he's not even a real doctor. And Facebook is where we find ourselves today, thanks to this spicy little meme.
Spicy.
This sort of thing has popped up under different guises in recent years, with this being the most recent example. So let's throw on the gumboots and wade into the deepest, darkest reaches of social media and take a look at why this conspiracy theory is total horseshit.
Strike dingo.
The doctor meme is a derivative of the Fauci meme, and like the Fauci meme, the Sutton meme, as Jane Hume would say,
is BS.
Like the Fauci meme, I'm not sure if the creator of the meme actually believes this or not, but suffice to say, apparently there are more than enough people out there that refer to memes as reputable sources of information when they're doing their own research. The claim that Sutton was not a doctor seemed to really take off after an episode of Q&A in 2021, when this happened.
I know doctors who know Brett Sutton who think he's got it completely wrong. And it's clear that the Chief Health Officer...
Not a doctor.
He's not a doctor.
He's not a researcher. All right, but what I'm saying is, as Chief Health Officer...
Sidebar, please.
If you Google Susan Alberti, it might not surprise you to find that she'd appear to be Liberal aligned. A few years ago, the spotlight was on the Deakin 200 Club and its links to the hard right of the Liberal Party. Businesswoman and football identity, Susan Alberti was highlighted as one of the luminaries that they'd attracted. Recently, Susan popped up in a senator's register of interest when it would appear she gifted Sarah Henderson a return ticket to the United States.
Just seems weird, you know?
Care to comment on that?
No.
For me, this was around the period where Q&A really hit rock bottom. It was about this time that I found a lot of the criticisms around Q&A were actually warranted.
Back to the regular program!
Half an hour after the "not a doctor" screeching, at the end of the program, host David Spears issued a clarification. By then, though, it was a little too late.
Now, look, before we go, a clarification on an earlier claim. I don't know who made it in particular.
Allow me to help you out there, David.
Restaurateur and social change advocate Hannah Asafiri, businesswoman, philanthropist and the force behind the AFLW, Susan Alberti. It was a claim about Brett Sutton, Chief Health Officer in Victoria. He is a medical doctor who's worked in both emergency medicine and public health. So we just want to get that on the record tonight before we go. That is all we have time for. Would you please thank our panel?
Both panel members would later issue apologies of sorts, with one now since deleted. To be fair to Susan, you can see her lean toward Tom Elliott as the credits roll and claim that Sutton is not an epidemiologist.
Until then, good night.
He's not an epidemiologist. He's not an epidemiologist. He's not an epidemiologist.
Would she have done that had Spears not just issued the clarification? I don't know. Having been given the time to speak about all manner of things and the fact that she wasn't shy yelling over other panellists to get her point across.
He's not a doctor.
He's not a researcher. All right, but what I'm saying is, as Chief Health Officer...
I'm not altogether convinced with her suggestion that she didn't have time to explain her remarks. But maybe that's just me.
I feel like I need to point out that none of us here are infectious diseases experts.
Yes, you do.
Putting aside the fact that I'm not even sure that the "not an epidemiologist" thing is technically correct, given epidemiology is a branch of public health in which Sutton holds a master's, as the Chief Health Officer, Sutton would have access to a whole host of epidemiology experts.
We have epidemiologists. I'm listening to them. We've got a team of epidemiologists who are working through this.
The whole thing was puerile.
A puerile joke.
But did enough to give the "not a doctor" thing some more legs.
Sorry, can we take 5?
Trigger warning.
Don't brag!
Well, seems kind of gratuitous.
So if David Spears didn't do enough to convince you of Brett Sutton's
Oh, he's so dreamy!
medical credentials, let's take a look at them ourselves. In his witness statement for the inquiry into the quarantine program, Brett Sutton listed out his qualifications, and there are plenty of them. First, the Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery from the University of Melbourne in 1993. In case you don't want to take his word for it, or mine, you can go to the university's website and look that one up yourself. Early in his career, Sutton did a couple of stints with Doctors Without Borders, including a 6-month stint in Afghanistan in 2003. You can find an old article he wrote for Frontline Medicine about his experiences in Afghanistan online.
I might start with an apology. I know that members of the Afghan community might have felt singled out by statements I made recently. That was absolutely not my intention. So sorry. I have volunteered a couple of times to work in Afghanistan in 1997 and 2003. It's a country I love and respect, and its people. So, Mazarat Meham or Wabakhay, I apologise.
After spending several years working in emergency departments in Tasmania and Victoria, he graduated with a Master of Public Health and Tropical Medicine from James Cook University in 2007, which you know is one of the pathways for becoming an epidemiologist. Still not convinced he's a doctor?
Oh yeah, but he's not even a real doctor.
Well, luckily in Australia we have the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Agency.
Lucky.
Which is responsible for the registration and accreditation of health professionals. On their website, they make it easy to look up a health practitioner to make sure they're suitably qualified and accredited. Worried that your local GP might actually be a plumber and not a doctor? Well, look them up. So I jumped on the APRA site, and to make sure their system was working correctly, decided to look someone up that was in no way a qualified health practitioner. Jared Rennick.
Harder, Daddy.
Not a qualified health practitioner. The APRA tool seems to be working then. Now for Brett Sutton.
He's so dreamy.
Bingo. And he is a professor, as you can find on the Monash University website, where he's listed a couple of times, primarily under the Infectious Diseases Epidemiology Unit, as an adjunct professor.
Oh yeah, but...
So sorry, Bri.
He's both a qualified medical practitioner and a professor.
What happened to Bra?
Need more?
Please, sir. I want some more.
He's a younger Dr. Sutton on Channel 7 reality TV show Medical Emergency. Medical Emergency was filmed in the Alfred Hospital's trauma unit, as well as the Sandringham Hospital, among other locations. It first screened in the mid-2000s.
So the dressings are really a protective dressing that allows the normal skin to grow from below.
Could you pause it for a second?
I know there'll be people seeing registrar and thinking it's something that it's not. So just so that we have no misunderstandings here, a registrar is a doctor with at least 3 years' experience in a public hospital who supervises more junior doctors and is training to become a specialist.
And to keep it sterile and stop it getting infected. Over the dressing has just settled it down a little bit more, and I think the prospect of being at home, feet on the couch and watching some TV and playing some videos has improved the prospects for pain. Tendon looks okay because he can stretch his fingers out, and with some pressure the tendon feels firm, but I really need to explore. You can partially cut a tendon and it still works, but it needs proper repair. For the person who's going through it, it's very distressing and it's as terrifying as anyone else who's got a phobia. So anything that we can do to try and ease her through it, because it's necessary, then we'll do what we can. The doctor's told me all about you. Thinks you might have something in your ear and maybe in your nose, is that right?
Yeah.
Good girl. She's definitely got a little pink bead in the left ear.
Yeah.
And it's the left nostril, and
Okay.
it's not clear what's there because there's some
Yeah, that's what
muck
Dr.
around
Sandy
it.
said, yeah.
But I suspect there's a little foreign body there as well.
Yeah.
So there you have it. If after all that you're still not convinced that Professor Sutton is a doctor, I'm guessing you might just be the type of person that's more inclined to take medical advice from Senator
Harder, Daddy.
Rennick.
Wait a minute, haven't you forgotten something?
Oh yeah, apparently only 10% of people who watch my videos are female, so with that in mind, hopefully this will help the video appeal to a wider audience.
Victoria's top health official received his flu shot. Before delivering a firm warning.
Familiares y amigos del coronavirus.
That does seem gratuitous.